Martin Scorsese, the director who brought us Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Shutter Island, and many more adult classic films, does a family-friendly film? Yep, that happened. Hugo is a young orphan boy living in the train station set in 1930s Paris. During this time, he's stealing pieces to build this automaton, to rebuild this automaton, basically a wind-up mechanical robot, trying to avoid the train inspector played surprisingly well by Sacha Baron Cohen. One day, he's caught by the mechanical toy keeper. When they first meet, this boy, the mechanical toy keeper takes this book, this instruction manual to the automaton, and is very taken back by it. And as a viewer, you're like, why did he react to that? And Hugo? The boy acts the same way. He's like, you know, and the whole first interactions are about him trying to get this instruction manual back. And when that doesn't work, he decides, well, I'm going to just stand up to this guy. The toy keeper takes him in and says, okay, you're going to work off your debt, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll give you your book back. Alongside Hugo, you're like, why is this toy keeper really caring about this book? That's my book. And that's basically the whole premise of this film. He works for the mechanical toy keeper, but also at the same time trying to rebuild his robot, and also figure out why this man really cares about his instruction manual. Like, what's the big deal? He does this with the help of a sidekick, Hit Girl, or at least the girl that plays Hit Girl. And she plays this, you know, girl he had a crush on. It's kind of cute. Scorsese does this extremely well. The first 10 minutes of this film are very silent, and it's got this musical score to it that just draws you in the film. You're like, yes, okay, 1930s Paris, totally believable. But this film has something that I've never seen in any other film. It's got this style and look upon it that you don't see in any other film. This film is a masterpiece, folks. I enjoyed almost every minute of this film. Yes, I have one complaint. Yeah, the first half of this film, there's really nothing going on. Not a thing. Toy keeper, he meets the girl, he tries to fix the robot. Nothing's going on. But for 49 minutes, I was still intrigued in this film. Because why? Because the musical number and the fact that there's nothing out there like this out there. In theaters or on Blu-ray like this. There's no movie I've ever seen like this. The acting is superb. Every actor in this film is spot on. You know, and generally kid actors are hit and miss, but the kid actors in this film, superb, you know, magnifique. But my biggest surprise was Sacha Baron Cohen. The guy who plays Bruno, Borat, and all those can act. This film changed my perception of this guy 100%. Each scene he's in, he steals it, and you're like, you know, you can feel for the train inspector, but you also know he's a bad guy, but there's deeper layers to him, and Sacha Baron Cohen adds those layers, but also adds a spin of his humor, but it's a little censored, but I'm glad it was censored because I didn't want anyone ever seen he was in to be like Borat mixed with Hugo. No. I am glad it wasn't like that. I'm glad Scorsese put a cap on him, but at the same time, this guy's got some serious acting chops. Props to Sacha Baron Cohen. For a little bit, but the fact was, I didn't care that it dragged on for the first half of the film because that musical score and the style of the film, it amazed me, and I was like, wow. I don't care that really no plot details, nothing was going on for 49 minutes of this film, because the second half of this film totally made up for that, and the fact that the 49 minutes of that film, I was still intrigued. I was still like, listening to that music, act, and look at their characters, and it's a masterpiece. I'm simply going to give this film a 5 out of 5. Round of applause. Martin Scorsese, this film should have won Best Picture of the Year. This film, hands down, is one of my favorite films that I've reviewed so far. I absolutely love it. I even love it more than Super. So, props to Martin Scorsese, diversifying his portfolio and delivering, and all those actors that delivered a top-notch performance. The style of this film is like nothing you've ever seen. it's a masterpiece. As you can be surprised, I went and bought it out on Blu-ray. And this is where it let me down a little. There's no real special features in this film. There's no standout special features, and there's no audio commentary. I wanted an audio commentary to this masterpiece of a film. I wanted to know what Martin Scorsese was thinking, what he was doing. Like, hey, what are you doing in this scene? There's none of that, which made me angry as a film buff. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because this film was basically flawless, and you're buying it for the film. You're not buying it for the special features. I make a condition to pick it up on Blu-ray. Cinema classic, folks. And you're missing out if you don't see this film. Truly astonishing. Even if you're an action buff like me, this film, it hits you at home, and there's nothing like it. Definite recommendation to pick up Hugo on Blu-ray.